John, you're the only one holding this family together.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Johnny and Moira moments on Schitt's Creek.
Excited beyond compare.
You can do this, Moira.
And I want you to know, John, that you are the most important thing in this world to me. You know that, don't you? And I include Caroline in that, and I've had that wig for 40 years.
For this list, we'll be looking at times the matriarch and patriarch of the Rose family made us laugh, made us cry, even made us cringe, but most of all, always made us believe in precious love. Keep in mind, we'll be including instances from all 6 seasons of the show, so this is your spoiler alert. What's your favorite Johnny and Moira moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Hawaiian Night. Back in Season 1, the Roses hadn't integrated themselves with the residents of Schitt's Creek, giving the impression they're above it all.
Regular people. I mean, they made us who we were. What am I trying to say?
We love regular people. We love regular people.
Well, by all means, and the two of you are invited.
Showing up to Roland and Jocelyn's Hawaiian-themed soiree, Johnny and Moira once again seem out of place. Seriously, who eats roasted pig in fancy white attire?
I gotta tell you, that suit, that's pretty dangerous to wear in a party like this. I just want to wipe my hands all over that.
However, the two fit in better than expected, thanks to a gal named Mary Jane. Here, we get to see a more laid-back side of Johnny and Moira, and also Roland and Jocelyn.
And what if I had not hand-modeled at that microwave trade show?
Yeah.
What if I didn't ask? Who's the eyebrows buying everyone's drinks?
The two couples bond over their dreams and children, finding they actually have a fair deal in common. As funny as it is seeing Johnny and Moira step out of their comfort zone, they get a little too close for comfort running into David with Stevie back at the motel.
Oh, hello again. Spending another night together?
Dad!
Oh, Stevie, I hope you're being smart.
Number 9. Skinny dipping.
Hard to believe this is our first trip down to the creek. You know, Moira, after the week we've had, this is the perfect way to end it.
Moira becomes even more dramatic than usual when The Crows Have Eyes 3 is seemingly shelved for good. Convinced that this is the final nail in her career, Moira decides to begin a new chapter.
No, if that's what you want, Moira, just know that I'm here if you need me for anything.
Oh, I've never needed less. Shall we take lunch outside today?
To signify this rebirth, Moira suggests that she and Johnny rebaptize themselves in the creek.
You just remove those vêtements, Mr. Rose. I'll be back in the shake of a lamb's rump as soon as I find a signal.
Johnny strips down while Moira gives her agent one last call, or so she thinks. As Moira gets some great news about the Crows movie, Johnny receives some bad news from an off-duty officer. Johnny thankfully avoids an arrest, but he's caught off guard again when Moira announces her return to acting. Although Moira can be a roller coaster of emotion, Johnny is always supportive of her, which is precisely what makes their dynamic so special.
It took my accepting that I could quit at any time to realize I mustn't, John, ever.
If this is what you really want, then I'm happy for you.
Number 8. Moira's commercial. Between her soap star glory days and resurrecting her career with the Crows franchise, Moira takes her first step towards a comeback as the Herb Ertlinger winery spokeswoman. There are just a few problems, though.
No, this tastes like something one should not put in their mouth.
It's fruit wine. Whoever heard of fruit wine?
For starters, Moira isn't the fruit wine's biggest fan, and Johnny oversteps his boundaries on set.
Is that the outfit you're wearing?
Yes, that's the one you and I chose together.
Oh.
Although she initially sends him away, it becomes clear that Moira needs Johnny in her corner when the cameras start rolling.
Hello, I'm Moira Rose, and if you
Okay, back to one, still rolling.
Why?
You said Moina.
Flubbing several words, Moira locks herself in her trailer, and only Johnny can get through to her. Being the loving husband that he is, Johnny gives Moira the confidence to complete the commercial.
You can do this, Moira. You're radiant. You're beguiling. You are daytime television's brightest star.
While Moira gets through most of the shoot, her final line doesn't exactly go down like a glass of wine.
You'll remember the experience, and you'll remember the name, Herb Ervlinger, Bert Hermgeif. Herblinger.
Number 7. The Cabin.
Hello.
Oh, my car broke down and it's raining, and I wondered if I might spend the night.
Well, first let's get you out of those dry clothes and we'll see where the night takes us.
Though the Roses call the motel home, it doesn't offer much in the way of privacy.
And I refuse to feel guilty about being in bed with my wife.
I hate to be the one to tell you, but having sex is not just about making children so they can grow up and make you feel bad about having sex.
Oh my God, can you stop this, please?
Borrowing Roland's cabin, Johnny and Moira are forced to break in when they can't find the key. Although Johnny curses out Roland, it turns out the key was under the mat. They just got the wrong cabin, turning a romantic getaway into a romantic home invasion. Their alone time is interrupted when they discover the cabin's owners, who were polite enough to quietly wait in the other room while they finished up.
You seem to have a little trouble there getting going. And, well, we didn't think you needed the extra pressure on you. So.
Oh, hi. You're good. It's a hilariously awkward moment that somehow made even more uncomfortable by Bob and Gwen's polite demeanors. Johnny and Moira are lucky that Bob and Gwen are so casual about the whole breaking and entering thing. Weirdly, Bob seems more upset about his corkscrew than anything else.
You broke it in half.
Number 6. The Christmas Party. Johnny is Moira's rock, but their relationship isn't a one-way street. Wanting to make up for lost time, Johnny proposes the Roses throw a Christmas party.
Well, I'd love it if you could just be a little more on board with all of this.
Okay, John, for you. And Christmas.
Johnny is ready to give up on the idea upon unveiling a tattered Christmas tree.
Why don't we just cut it up for firewood? You know, this was a really stupid idea, a little Christmas party. Something to temporarily take our minds off things. But clearly this was too much for all of you.
Seeing that Johnny and his tree need a little love, Moira pulls off a Christmas miracle for him.
It appears there's been a Christmas miracle, John.
Johnny returns to find the motel decked out and filled with the people who matter most to him. It may not be one of the lavish events they used to have, but the Roses finally get to celebrate Christmas as a family. It's the best present Moira could have gotten Johnny, although his gift to her is a tad last minute.
A bomb?
No, it's an antique tin.
Oh.
For your wig pins.
Number 5. Buying a car.
No used car salesman is gonna cut you a deal dressed in archival designer silk.
You know, he's got a point there, honey.
Yeah, says the moving target in the bespoke suit.
With their finances limited but their role-playing abilities abundant, Johnny and Moira go to a car dealership and pretend to be different people. For Moira, this isn't just an opportunity to buy a car, but also to put on a show.
I'm a trained actor. A humble backstory will disabuse this man of any notion we're too patrician.
Johnny and the audience are completely unprepared when Moira breaks out a fake accent, which sounds like a British Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, excited beyond compare. Yes, especially with this being our first ever purchase of an automobile.
Yes, it's our first car. Let's hope we can afford it.
Yes.
Moira also cooks up a backstory that sounds like something right out of a soap opera. That's because it is from Sunrise Bay, and one of the dealers just so happens to be a fan. Even when caught, Moira stays in character until Johnny comes clean.
I remember when your twin showed up and stabbed Armand with her sharpened crutch.
Okay, look, folks, I'm really sorry. My wife was simply trying to fictionalize our very real financial struggle.
Okay, that was fun.
As per usual, Catherine O'Hara steals the show with her eccentric delivery, while Eugene Levy's facial expressions say everything. Number 4. Johnny misses Moira. Moira isn't always the easiest person to live with, but Johnny's world feels incomplete when she's not around.
Kids, your mother's on the phone and it's her first day on set, so let's all make sure we keep her spirits high, okay? Alexis, come on.
As Moira sets off to Bosnia to film the Crowening, Johnny sends her his love while trying to downplay his loneliness. He attempts to fill the void with work, although Moira is always on his mind.
Is everything okay, Mr. Rose?
Yeah, never felt better. I feel invigorated.
Well, maybe you could move on to cleaning the windows and give Roland his job back?
Well, I've already done the windows.
The way he eagerly lights up whenever she calls perfectly sums up his dedication as a spouse. Although a part of Johnny would love for Moira to come home early, he sees how important this movie is to her, encouraging his love to finish the shoot.
I would be lost without you.
Me too.
It's not often we see sensitive male characters in popular media, but Johnny reminds audiences everywhere that it's okay to miss your partner.
8 days, Stevie. That's the longest we've gone without seeing each other.
Number 3. 50 Shades of Johnny Rose.
Well, instead of sleeping last night, I decided to power right through. You know, best to round up to an even 4 days.
And while I was doing some light reorganization, I came upon this stack of love letters
Written to your father by another woman.
Moira is Johnny's one and only, but she begins to suspect otherwise upon finding an assortment of love letters from another woman. The fact that Moira hasn't slept in a few days only contributes to her paranoia. Unable to take her eyes off the letters, Moira keeps telling herself that there's a logical explanation.
And forced to grab what few precious items we could. You chose to grab those letters.
That's right.
Who is this woman?
Well, there is an explanation, although it's not what you might expect. It turns out Moira wrote the letters while she was in a body cast for Sunrise Bay.
I'm lying here in bed. I can't move. I miss you. It's all there, Moira. You telling me none of this rings a bell?
As hilarious as this twist is, it's also a surprisingly sweet moment. Even when hopped up on painkillers, Moira was thinking of Johnny. Likewise, Johnny couldn't stop thinking about Moira while she was away. Hence why he dug up the letters.
So I took out the letters because reading them made me feel like you were still here with me.
Number 2. Johnny's heart attack scare.
I'm good.
John, how was I to know you were in peril? You keep everything inside like a bashful clam.
In a scene that balances comedy with panic, it looks like Johnny might be having a heart attack. While Johnny tries to remain his usual calm self, Moira becomes alarmed, frustrated, demanding, and affectionate all at once.
The poor guy died of a heart attack.
What? No! John? John, can you hear me? Can you hear me try to follow the sound of my voice?
Catherine O'Hara juggles all of these notes without skipping a beat. You can tell that Moira is out of her element, even though she did play a nurse in an episode of MASH.
This test's code for open heart surgery. You can tell me I once played a nurse on MASH.
Nevertheless, Moira is there for Johnny, and she would give up all the wigs in the world to save his life.
And I want you to know, John, that you are the most important thing in this world to me. You know that, don't you? And I include Caroline in that, and I've had that wig for 40 years.
Fortunately, it doesn't come to that, since Johnny was merely suffering from heartburn. They may have hit a few rough patches, but the episode leaves Johnny and Moira on a heartwarming note. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. The Moira's Roses Garden, a loving gesture. Bad grammar, punctuation, and bank information aside.
I don't think that there are enough apostrophes.
I don't even see a rose in the garden.
Because there aren't any roses.
Or are we the roses?
Okay, I'm getting roses for the garden. I'm getting roses.
And what are these numbers for?
It's Mom's birthday, David.
Those are the last 4 digits of your father's credit card.
Anniversary dinner. Schitt's Creek has changed the roses for the better.
And that town you passed through? It's not called Schittsville. It's called Schitt's Creek. And it's where we live.
Bébé-sitting Roland Jr. Johnny and Moira were probably wise to stop at 2 children.
Its body is ejecting things? What did you do to it?
Nothing. I changed his diaper, that's all.
Well, perhaps you've swaddled its abdomen too tightly, or maybe it's allergic to something. John, did you feed it shellfish? What did you do?
Danny boy. Moira saves Johnny's eulogy with her singing chops.
And how we might never escape this place. And how we do not want to end up in a coffin like Carl, here in this God-forsaken...
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes, the pipes.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Whenever they supported each other. Schitt's Creek is one of the few shows that's put a strong emphasis on healthy relationships. Johnny and Moira in particular are a testament to how much 2 people can love each other.
I love my party, John. Please don't ever do it again.
Well, the surprise was on me. Because this town cleaned itself up pretty well.
Both characters support the other in their own unique ways. Johnny supports Moira with a level head and relaxed demeanor, while Moira supports Johnny by thinking outside the box. Both encourage one another to follow their dreams, even if it means they might have to make a sacrifice. When a wealthy couple loses all of their money, it's not uncommon for the marriage to crumble. Johnny and Moira's marriage was never built on money, however.
John, you're the only one holding this family together. And that's the most important job of all. You're a good man, John Rose, and good men always win.
You can take away their wealth and their wigs, but you cannot take away their unbreakable bond.
If you want me in your corner, I'm there.
Oh, John. Thank you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.